You have a grand afternoon. I don't even know what you say for the afternoon. I know at night you're supposed to say peaceful fast and grand rising, but in the middle I don't really know. I've never thought to ask. But here I am to make a few more points about some of the things that I noticed yesterday and that I spoke on. I really miss my laptop. My charger literally exploded. It's by the grace of God that it didn't take out. I had it on the grounder, thankfully, so it didn't take anything out, and I didn't die. But it definitely burned. So I haven't been able to write things down. If I could write it down, I would just love to be back on that mode again. The lesson is better that way. But if you're here and you're hanging with me, you watch my videos, then you're up to speed. Okay, so the first thing I want to bring up, it literally came to me when I woke up this morning. Um, my mother, when I'm looking at the chart, and I was saying there's a whole lot going on, but no shapes. First of all, I just want you to know that what I'm saying is a theory. I don't really know. Because, for instance, Drake doesn't have a lot of shapes, but it does have a yod. You know what I'm saying? Um, and stuff like that. So, of course, but if you got a yod, you got God's finger on you, okay? The finger of God, all right? But what I was saying is the equivalent to busy work, right? So you have a coworker that always seems to be productive, but they don't really have a lot going on. Like, they don't actually do anything. I actually have a specific, I just saw 202 and 1212, right? I have a specific coworker in mind when I think of this. I used to work at Edible Arrangements, as everybody knows. My manager was terrible. She did not work. She did very minimal work, and she actually had found a blind spot on camera, so it looked like she was working, but she actually wasn't, and she let me know that. So, I carried a lot of the weight there to keep out of trouble, but that's an example. She always looked like she was busy, but she actually wasn't. So when I look at her chart, she looks very busy. But a lot of the skills are incomplete. That is what I'm trying to say there. Um, that's what I'm trying to say there. Okay. Um, Dang, the other one escapes me because I ate a lot just now. I was into my food, and now everything has left my mind. But that one's a big one. There's a lot going on her chart, and it doesn't even mean that she doesn't have any skills. But there's no. It's just like a lot of. It would appear that um, she starts and doesn't finish, or she gets stuck on a certain thing and she just keeps repeating the same thing, which would cause a lot of uh, this just chaos. It's literally chaos. Okay. um I'm speaking a little more just to hope that I come to what. Oh, so I mentioned that she bought Aaron a Bible. Now, of all the grandchildren that she bought a Bible, which she said she bought all of her grandchildren this Bible, I am certain that we are the only ones that use it. So far, for the most part, we have attempted to read 10 pages per day. Last week, we didn't read a lot, but I can tell you that on the days that we didn't, he mentioned it. He is very into it. He really loves it, okay? Um, like, we got to read my Bible. We got to read my Bible. It's so cute. It's so cute. And I'm glad that he's engaging and wants to learn. But one of the things that she also said, um, because I had mentioned Aaron has now come to terms with his father's not in his life. But he has decided on his own, with no encouragement of myself, that God is his father. He said, I don't need my dad. I have God. That was there's he's so intense, bro. But it's good. It's good. That's good that he's able to recognize that there is a higher power that's watching over him and caring for him. Great. So I know that I'm doing the right things. When I relay this to my mother, it's almost as if I am not the one instilling this in him simply because I use tarot cards. And her response to me is, now you have to stop using the tarot cards. Now I'm coming to where what I wanted to say. When my sister told me that she didn't want me to touch her belly, and that's because she's with child, by the way. Um, my mother was on the line, smiling and waiting for her to give me this information, and she was only on the line to provide emotional support, what I would assume, to my sister to relay this information to me and to see my response and my reaction to it, which was okay. And then I went on talking about other things. It's very important what I'm trying to express to you. Oh no. Oh no. Did I leave my other phone downstairs? I must have. Because it's not here. Hold on. Hold on. Stay in my line. Stay in my line. Stay in my line. Oh. Well. It's okay. I have 3 devices, so we'll just use this one. What happened yesterday was triangulation. Okay, my mom has been trying to get me to stop using tarot. How does she even know I do tarot? I don't know, because I've never relayed that information to her, but I did relay it to someone else. That's gossip. Another family member completely outside of these two. So, what she did, okay, just a reminder for those who don't know and are new here. In psychology, triangulation is a term used to describe when a person uses threats or exclusion or manipulation. Its goal is to divide and conquer. A form of manipulation, triangulation, involves the use of indirect communication, often behind someone's back. So they were talking about this, without my knowledge. And my mother didn't want me to use tarot cards anymore. And she thought that by convincing my sister to not allow me to touch her, that would force me to conform. So signs of triangulation are being asked to take sides on a specific issue, feeling pressure to choose who's right during a conflict, one person feeling entirely ignored and rejected, and people putting a third party into an ill-fitting role. Okay, like a parent choosing a young child to help with their marital issues, also known as emotional incest. Isn't that so funny that just popped there? Oh, but oh, but nothing about nothing I'm saying makes sense. I'm crazy, right? I just, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Okay, here. This is how I chose it. I'm gonna close this right here. The only reason I closed it is because I didn't like this little diagram here, so I just clicked this one because it has words, and there it is, right there. Because I don't make shit up. I only speak facts. So, to the best of my ability. Okay, I'm known to do hypotheticals, and things like that, but I will always let you know it's a hypothetical. For instance, I just told you I don't really know. That's my theory. It's not anything that I know or concrete. I just believe it because of what I've seen of my life, of other people's lives that share these different symbols within the chart, right? So, excuse me, it's just an observation. I thought a hypothesis. Okay. And so now this brings me to the next point, which I totally forgot all this stuff until I'm glad I flowed this way, okay? So the intention was to make me feel ignored and rejected by not conforming to their standard of not using tarot cards. Yet, I have more biblical knowledge than both of them combined. and have more knowledge about the energies they claim they're trying to avoid by dissociating with me, right? And I don't really mind. It's not like we've been kikiing, haha, and all this time anyway, you know, so no love lost. But brings me to my next thing. Because another thing that she continues to refute, I don't know if you remember this, but I mentioned it in the Tetelestai video. My mother has a psychology degree, okay? So, on occasion, I have mentioned that some people within the family may be, may benefit from getting therapy. And her response to that is, you don't need therapy if you know God. I think I've made a comment about this multiple times on this channel, about how there is, for some Christian people, and another thing too, before I go on, I keep saying all these people, or all, I apologize for like making a blanket statement like that. That's not what I mean. Um, I know that not all people who are Christians behave this way. I know that not all religious people behave this way. Um, However, it's more of a blanketed statement because some belief systems do cause a mass, a mass, a mass group of abusers. Okay, so I'm saying all that just to make sure, if I use the term all, I do have an understanding that it is not all people. It's not all men. It's not all women. It's not all Christians. It's not all. But I might use the term. Anyways, um, I have mentioned multiple times that Christians, especially black Christians, deny mental illness, or deny that you would need a therapist for any reason. And the irony is that she does, in fact, have a psychology degree. And so I said to her, I've repeatedly said, I see God in everything. No, psychology was not created because they believed in God. They were, in fact, trying to find an explanation outside of there being some kind of higher power. But myself personally, after what I've experienced, I can only see God. And what I see is how intricately and fearfully and wonderfully made we are. And that though they had no intention of finding God, God is found within psychology. And another way that I have described that is in borderline personality disorder and emotional rape, part two. I stated that psychology has terms for what's going on in the spiritual realm. So I can be right in the middle where I say, I know God. So I know that through the use of psychology, I can be helped. That is how I can use it. They found a way for me to spiritually fix what's happening on this plane. She refuses it. Now, I'm not sitting here trying to, and really essentially after what just happened, you know, we got to cut ties again because I called her maybe like 20 minutes later and she's like, "Do you love me?" It's not that I don't love you. You know, that's not the problem here. The problem here is that I continue to catch you in abusive behavior towards me and you want me to love you. It's very hard to express that love. Like, yeah, I love you, but it's hard to express that when you are continually undermining me, isolating me, judging me, keeping me away from things that are for me because you don't agree religiously. That's not even in terms of your religion, it doesn't even fall in line. You can't tell me you serve God, right? So those are some little things, some little extra things that I would like to add to last night's messages, because it wasn't just one; it was several. I think I had four in total. Um, you know, and it's just funny. How can you refute that when you have a psychology degree? What do you have the psychology degree for if you don't need it? If you only need God and you know God, what was your purpose of going into that? I'll tell you what it is, actually, if you really want to know. In order to use it for bad. Because to this day, I've never heard of her deciding to open a practice or anything like that. I do believe that her investigation in psychology was to use it for bad, to see how she could keep her children in check. If you know the positives, you automatically can find the negatives. You can, if you find something causes a certain thing, you can continue to do that to drive your child insane. I really feel like it was for that, or for her own purpose of trying to discover what was wrong with her. Yet then condemn, and this is the irony. Ugh, there's more irony, because remember, narcissistic irony. She is the one that told me to go to therapy. I am in therapy because she told me that she can't help me if I don't get therapy. But then says you don't need therapy if you know God. Abuse. And we just watching it all just unfold. Well, I don't really, at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm good. Excuse me, I just had to check the date. Pretty sure I'm good and I can live without for the next couple of weeks. Because what they just did was, we're not playing these little games, these spiritual games. It's a spiritual game, and I don't have time for that. You know. So in a way, I'm done with my little rant here, but I hope that you take something from it, you learn something from it. If it's not just me just blowing off some steam, you know. Y'all have a good day.